All right, who knows what I've been doing today? The last few minutes have just definitely not been my best of the day. Apparently, I thought I was recording, wasn't recording. It was okay because I messed up my English. I apparently can't speak today. You saw earlier I can't count. Maybe I didn't even get that on video. I don't know what's happening, but let me get down on the ground. Please excuse my appearance. There appears to be a lot of grass clippings that I did not blow with my my yard blower, whatever the hell it's called. I can't think today. Oh boy, just give me a moment. On last episode, I made these lovely shrouds for the fog lights. Now, time has come to install these. It's been about 2 to 3 weeks. I don't quite remember when I actually recorded the first time around, but it'll have been 2 weeks since you've seen that episode. And I am gonna install these, well, at least attempt to install these. This project may turn out to be a little bit more than I thought, but we'll see where it goes. Nonetheless, I am ready to take off my zip ties. The glue has worked very well, and the mesh is holding strong. So without further ado, let's get the Corvette in the air and talk about the next steps. There is a possibility that just by removing the front wheels, I might be able to get back in there without having to remove the front bumper. See, that's the thing. There are two ways this could go. The easy route, which is going back behind the front wheel in underneath the front bumper without having to remove the front bumper. Of course, that's very hopeful that it goes that way. There's also the possibility that I just have to remove the complete front bumper altogether, and that's gonna suck if that has to happen. But nonetheless, let me remove that back panel and then I'll show you exactly what I did and whether or not it's gonna work, and we'll go from there.
Alright, so I'm going to try and show this as best I can. Here is the corner turn signal. This is the line for the air going into the brake. Not really sure what this bit is here, but you can see the fog light back in there. And that means that over to the right goes the shroud, which means I cannot get into it this way. Pretty disappointing. Oh, that means there's a lot more bolts to take. Alright, well, let's get to it.
Alright, so I'm gonna just show you quickly what exactly I removed, and there will be a link to a video that does a really nice job of explaining exactly how to get this front bumper off. But you're gonna have 3 bolts here as well as 2 bolts there. They are all 7mm, and it's gonna pull off the part you saw me pull earlier. I was actually hoping to get in through there without having to remove the bumper, but alas, the projects continue. Across the top, because mine is a newer model, I found that these were all just like plastic pull pieces, and they were pretty simple to get out. I think some of the earlier models, 2 of these, I think this one and this one, may be bolts, so you may have to deal with that. Now, I removed the front bracket, license plate. Didn't really need to, I don't think. Sometimes there's bolts in here that you'll need to remove, but there is nothing there. Of course, over here you can see that the part has begun to come down. Again, there's 2 bolts here. 3 bolts here, if I can count. 2 bolts there, and they are all 7mm. Up above here are 2 10mm. To get in there, you're gonna have to go through here, and it's a pretty pain in the butt. Pretty pain. That doesn't really make sense, but it's a pain in the butt. There's a couple ways you can do it. I just went in with my hands and did it, but you can use an extension to get through there. Now, of course, the big thing is under the front bumper. If you remember some of my earlier video, on one of my earlier videos, I did the dam the dam to pull air into the radiator, but you're gonna have seven, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count for shit today. 5 here. Actually, you are gonna have 7. 5 across the front here, 2 here, and here. Sorry, I'm not sure. I'm hoping this come out pretty good. Here, to get to these, you're gonna actually have to remove this dam, which sucks because I just did that, like, I don't know, last summer. But anyway, that's what you're gonna have to do, and hopefully, without further ado, it should come off. We'll see. There might be 1 or 2 things I missed, but we'll see when it stops coming. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, who knows what I've been doing today? The last few minutes have just definitely not been my best of the day. Apparently, I thought I was recording, wasn't recording. It was okay because I messed up my English. I apparently can't speak today. You saw earlier I can't count. Maybe I didn't even get that on video. I don't know what's happening, but let me get down on the ground. Please excuse my appearance. There appears to be a lot of grass clippings that I did not blow with my my yard blower, whatever the hell it's called. I can't think today. Oh boy, just give me a moment. All right, let me get under and show you why this bumper tends to be a pain in the ass. Besides bumping my head for the second time today, under here you can see that the bumper actually is supposed to go around this metal piece. Bit of a pain in the butt to get off. I was able to twist this enough without breaking it to get it around. I don't really like it that it has to do that, but I guess I didn't think of any better way. Wow, I should clean. Why the fuck is there a fish net up here? Anyway, I don't like the fact that that's the way you got to do it, but that's the way it's got to be done, or at least that's the way I found it to be done. Hopefully, now I can just pull this thing off. This is a project, but it didn't really take me that long, so we'll talk about that at the end, though. Okay, so let's take a look at the back here. As you can see, it looks like it is actually connected to a piece that goes over here. There's a bolt here, as well as 2 bolts over there. There might be a 4th bolt, but I don't see one. And hopefully after that, it looks like it should just pull off. Now, I do want to be careful. There is a wire that runs all the way across the front bumper. The fascia connects over here, and it runs all the way across. So there is actually one connector. You can see I thought I had to remove these for some reason, but I don't. Just looking at this project, if there's one thing I wish I did while I was in here, it was go ahead and replace these DRLs, these daytime running light corner lamps. Not that it's a big project to do so without removing the front bumper, but it's just easier when I'm in here and there's all this room. So, as you can see, the shroud just removes off. It's actually 3 10mm bolts. 2 here and 1 goes underneath into the side DRL. The issue that I am running into right now, and beware of, is that the service cable, I'm not really sure what to call it, the connector, the front fascia connector that runs across, connects on the right hand side, but it has tabs. It actually connects into the bottom here so that it's not just flopping about, which is smart, but a pain in the butt if you're looking to replace these. Nonetheless, they look like they are just a pinch tab of some sort. Hopefully I can just, pinch a little bit and push through. So the one thing I will say about doing projects like this is I never really think it's a good idea to be in a rush, because inevitably things are going to happen. Like, I just couldn't find where I put down the cutters. gonna remove, the zip ties. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this exactly backwards. I'm gonna put in these, actually, you know what? I think it would be a good idea to just bolt this in for now and then look at the front and decide if I like it or not. Because again, this could be a total waste of time, in which case I've seen this image in my head 100 times, because this is something it popped in my head one day and I wasn't able to get it out. Now, I just noticed that these are not all the same. Oh, no, they are. That might be. I'm just talking to myself again. These are all 10 millimeters. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Actually, this project has been done with nothing but a 7 and a 10 millimeter. So the one thing I do want to say here is these bolts are actually kind of difficult to get in. I don't know. I guess because it's a metal piece going into a fiberglass piece, it just doesn't seem to fit very well, and like things just don't mesh up so nice. Now I'm putting these in kind of loose at the moment because the first one I did tight, and then I couldn't get any of the other stuff to line up.
So this is stock, and this is what it looks like after the project. Now, I like it. You know what? Honestly, I like it. I do still want to get it on the car.
Hey Vedheads, about 2 weeks has passed since I've done those front shrouds, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw the data on the screen. Let's talk about that first. As you can see, you know, I didn't do a ton of data collection, just very simple. There really doesn't seem to be a change in engine temperature or whatever. And I honestly, like I said in the beginning, I didn't expect there to be. This was a project that kind of got implanted in my mind at some point, and I just wanted to do it. It really did not have a purpose other than being an aesthetic mod, a visual mod. And I think after all is said and done, you know, looking at it from a distance, it does really blend in. It looks stock. It's hard to tell unless you're close up to the car. And the truth is if I were to go back and do this again, if I were to tell myself earlier, go ahead and do this, I think the answer is yes, because I like it. It's something unique. It's something different than what I typically see. And that's always my goal, like when I'm looking at a car, like how do I make it my own? And to me, just the extension of doing this from the beginning is something I wanted to do. So let's talk about difficulty. I am not a skilled mechanic. I really bought this car with the intention of learning and doing a lot of things on my own. So how long did it actually take me to go ahead and do this project? Well, honestly, from all said and done, putting the shroud together in the beginning 2 weeks ago, that took about, I would say, an hour to an hour and 10 minutes, so not very long. But pulling the bumper off is the bulk majority. I did that in probably about 3 to 4 hours. I don't really time, but it was probably about 3 to 4 hours. So it really wasn't that hard of a project. If you're looking to remove the bumper for other projects, I would suggest doing it just all at once, just so that you're not pulling off the bumper multiple times, because it really does suck in general, just taking the time to do it. But all said and done, it's not that hard of a project. 3 to 4 hours tops if you're unskilled. If you're more skilled, you're more used to pulling a car apart and putting it back together, it will take you less time. Honestly, putting the bumper on, for me, was the easier part of the two. I thought it was a lot easier than pulling it off. I think pulling it off, just because I didn't know where certain things were or doing certain things, was the difficult proposition. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I would definitely do this project again. I think it's a bigger benefit to those who have air intakes that sit behind those front Shrouds. To me, not really so much, but I do like the look, and it's just another thing I can chalk up as to I did it myself, and that's always a good feeling. This car continues to become an extension of my personality and is a little bit more me now, and I'm pretty excited about that. And as usual, that has, if you made it to the end of this video, a big congratulations. Thank you. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button if you like my content. I do want to give a big thank you to the first responders. We've been on lockdown for about 6 weeks now, and my hair is getting crazy long, my beard is getting crazy long, but I do want to thank the first responders for going out and doing the essential work every single day. Looking forward to getting back to normalcy and hopefully finally get to some car shows this year. See you on the next episode.